Automata is a science fiction film, post-apocalyptic dystopian, starring Antonio Banderas. He plays Jacques. Jacques is an insurance man for ROC. In the future, 99.7% of the population on Earth died through global warming or something, or like solar flares or something. So ROC, they created these robots, automatons, to every family unit has one pretty much to help out, but they build walls and they do manual labor, and they have two protocols. The first is that they cannot allow harm to happen to a human, so it's a great business model rule, and the second rule is that they cannot alter themselves in any way. So the main plot is that Jacques is investigating stuff, and he's trying to find the there's this robot that was repairing itself, and a policeman shot it, and when they're doing the robot autopsy, they find out that the robot has 25 parts pertaining to other robots. So he's trying to investigate all the different parts. When he finds another robot in a scrap heap that kills himself rather than trying to answer his questions or obey him. So the robot was able to, fight the second protocol, which is wrong, You have to be able to... they find out that the robot's chip is damaged, but it's different. It doesn't have a second protocol, which is, a really big problem for the company. So as Jacques tries to find the clocksmith, that's what they're called, someone who can alter a robot, he finds himself digging into this conspiracy. So what I really liked about this movie is it has really good set design. The world of the future is really, designed like everything's grungy. There's like these walls, and anyone who lives on the inside of the walls is upper class, and then there's the filth and the lower class beyond the wall, and you have to have your gun out whenever you go there. And Jacques has a wife who's pregnant, and it's the weakest part of the movie because we don't care about this wife. He basically wants to do one last job, get a transfer somewhere else to have the baby. She doesn't want to go anywhere. It's a really thin piece of conflict, and she's not she's fine at acting, but that's just a terrible role for the wife to be just some shrilly, I don't want to move, so the main conflict is that Jacques is trying to find the clocksmith, and there's a lot of rich Asimov-like themes about finding out who has been doing the upgrades to the robots, because once a robot can fight the second protocol, it doesn't have a limit. So it starts doing it to other robots. So the big bosses at ROC send mercenaries to go after Jacques, and he basically gets framed for helping them. And then he finds a hub of robots that don't have the second protocol. So this movie starts off really intriguing. The first 45 minutes to an hour is really great. I really like the rich sci-fi dressing. But then the movie devolves into a shitty actioner. Everyone's got shotguns all of a sudden, and they kidnap his wife, and it just turns into like a brawly sort of, it loses its cerebralness, It's no longer a movie about the nature of AI and the limitations and creation. It just turns into oh, they got guns and they got my wife, time to go and have a shootout. And the ending's kind of dumb. So overall, I do like Antonio Banderas. There's some good actors in here, like Robert Forster, rest in peace, and the mercenary guys are okay. But overall, the movie loses itself to cliches. It starts off really, really interesting, and then it just sort of runs out of ideas, I guess, and just goes, let's just turn the second half into a generic actioner, And then, the movie's ending doesn't really make sense either. So overall, Automata, it starts off with an intriguing premise, and it has the budget and everything to, be the new sci-fi thing, but it kind of fumbles in the last half of the movie. So I give Automata a 4 out of 10.